So to do our tongue and groove board, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to architecture, component, we're going to go to model in place, and this time we're going to choose floors because it's going to be a type of flooring. Choose OK, and we're going to call this T and G floor. Alright, so now we're going to actually model this from a side view instead of from our plan view. So we're going to draw the cross section of the tongue and groove board here, and this will be using our reference here. Now what you can do if you don't want to keep switching back and forth between references is you can actually use the snip tool, and to use the snip tool you can simply press the Windows key and type snip. Once you do that, the snipping tool will come up and we say we want to take a snip here and we want to have this, and we're going to save it, and I'm going to save it to my desktop, and I'm going to call this T and G. And the idea is that I want to be able to drag the file from my desktop into Revit here and place it. Maybe it's a little big, but doesn't matter. And this is a bit easy to work with so that you can always have the reference here and you don't have to be switching back and forth between the pictures, right? You can do this for any reference image. Alright, so to create this profile from what we see here, let's have that like that. We're using the model in place. We're going to go to create, and it is an extrusion that we're going to use, and we are going to choose to model in a different work plane. So let's cancel that, and what we need to do, let us go to our 3D view, and in our 3D view, if we show our work plane, this is how we're drawing. So of course if we're going to have a side view like that, it's going to be hard to draw on top of this work plane, and you can kind of imagine the work plane as a sheet of paper. So you would actually need to change this work plane to a vertical work plane before drawing in another axis. So to do that, we're going to go to set work plane, but this time we're going to go to pick a plane, choose OK, and we are going to select, let's choose any side plane. Let's try here, and let's make that a little bigger so we can have an idea of what this is doing. Alright, so now this is our work plane, so this will enable us to draw the profile of our floorboard. So let's go back to this view, and we can just go to create, and we can actually just turn off that work plane. That's what I just did. Alright, so now let us create an extrusion, and we're still getting this message, so we are going to use the 3D view and take the view from there. There we go. So let's switch this off, and well, you're not going to be seeing the profile in the 3D view, but we can get back to that later. So let's go to extrude, and let's at least draw out what we think the profile will be. I love to do a base drawing first and then go in and start to detail. So now that I've started drawing here, I can switch back to my side view, and let's zoom out. So notice that's it there, and I'm just gonna move this down here because I'm gonna start drawing here so I can see the profile. Alright, so I'm gonna just edit this slightly. So let's start here. I'm gonna go up 9 millimeters, and go out. Let's call that another maybe 9 millimeters perhaps. I'm gonna go, let's go up again, another 6.5 millimeters, and we're gonna come back here, and we're gonna go up, and we can see that the overall measurement here is 21 millimeters. So we're gonna copy this, copy it up, 21. There we go, and we just need to close that up there like that. And for this side, it's pretty much the same. So we are going to let our tongue and groove board be, let's make them 100. So I'm going to offset this 100. There we go. And pretty much we can just get rid of that and that and that. And we're going to use the trim tool, which is this. And we're going to trim that to that, trim that to that, and let's trim these up. And let's place our first board. Let's move it. Let's place it here, and let's place it up to here. All right. So we're going to choose OK, and of course, if we look in our 3D view, let's put that. There we go. That's our tongue and groove board there. So we're actually going to use our align tool now, and we're going to align using this as a reference and clicking here to align that. We're going to switch this around, and we're going to choose this as a reference and align that like that. There we go. So now what we need to do is to use our array tool once more. So to do that, we're going to click here, and we're going to choose array. And this time we're not going to choose the last, but we're going to choose move to, and we're going to select see if we can, let's use north view. There we go. Right, and let's go to array. Yes, so we're going to select this and select here, and let's make about 30 copies. Press enter, and you can see it being instanced there. In this case though, I don't think I would use this method, and these boards need to actually be going the other way. So let's fix that right away. Let us go to our 3D view and fix these boards. So these boards will actually be, let's set our work plane, and we're gonna let our work plane be let it be ground floor. Let's use that. Alright, so let's rotate this the correct way. And we're going to use the ground floor to do that. So we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. And we're going to put that there. And it should measure the same thing. And we're going to move that here. I'm just simply dragging. We're going to probably want to use the move tool on this one, so we're going to move it to there. Alright, so now if we look in our 3D view, it's in the correct direction, and we're going to array this way. But instead of arraying this model here, we could accept this as our floor and let us use our, probably the east view this time. Alright, there we go. And we are gonna array this as an object instead of arraying it within the edit in place mode. So we're gonna choose array, and so we're actually gonna do that, and we are actually going to go into edit mode for this object here, and let's go to our east view again and use our array tool, and we are gonna choose array, select the objects, select array, click here, click there, and do about, and copy this, press enter, make about 50 copies. So we have arrayed this, but let's decrease this to about 80. 60. Yeah, I think 60 just about makes it. Alright. Let's look at that in the 3D view. And there we have our floorboards. Nicely done. I'm going to choose OK. Okay, so next, in the foundation, if we look at our sketch here in OneNote, there we go. We see where we now have our sole plate or bottom plate here. We're going to make that 50 by 100, and that basically runs along the perimeter of the building. So to do this, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to go to architecture, and we're going to go to model in place. It's asking us to save, so it's a good idea to save again. We're going to do this also as a structural framing, so we're going to choose OK. We're going to call this sole plate, and let's go to the top view to do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an extrusion, right? And we're going to set our ground plane as the plane that we're going to draw on, and of course we are going to go across by 100 and go down. We're actually going to there, going across again and up. So I'm panning now, and we're going to choose OK. Let's look at that in 3D, right? And the height of this, the height is a little tall, because our ground plane is actually taller. So ideally we wanted to let the height of this be 50, but we need to adjust this level here, which is our ground level. Our ground level needs to actually be a little lower, so we're going to choose OK, finish model, and edit that. So we're going to drag this down let's not drag it. Let us use the align tool. Shortcut is AL. I'm going to align that to there. And when you're aligning things, when you're aligning levels, it takes us a while. So there we go. So let's look at this in 3D. Alright, so we need to complete this by going fully around. So we're gonna double click back on this to go back into edit in place mode. And I guess we can do this from the ground floor plan. So we're gonna take that and copy that over here, and we're gonna just align this there. Oh, that's where we were. Alright, and then we're gonna copy this again. So we're gonna click on it, CO, copy, and let us rotate that. RO is a shortcut to rotate, and 90 degrees. There we go. And we're gonna move this in place here. And we are gonna align here. Let's move this. Actually, that's where we should move it. This should actually be a little low. And we're going to align this over here like that. And we are going to copy this down. Like that. And let's fix there. Alright, so then we can choose OK, and let's look at that in 3D. We have our sole plate there. So now what we want to do is we need to get our studs going up now. Let's look here. So here we go. We have our framing, or we call our studs, going up. And we're going to also make that 50 by 100. So we're going to frame it out, but we also need to identify where we have our windows and doors in our design. So for my design, if I go to my north view here, based on my north view, that's here, my building has a balcony. And that balcony goes across here, and this is just a sketch, so I don't know if this is as tall. Then my building goes up to that point, probably about 10 feet, like that. I have my doorway to one side, right, and I actually have a double door, and I have my roof, and my roof like a shed roof, kind of slopes like that, a shed roof there, and I actually have some clerestory windows top, like that. So that's and let's not forget my windows. So for my windows, I actually have a design where it goes across like that. So I have like very long windows, and you have to incorporate some sort of louvering in the design, remember. So I actually have there, and it's an interplay of louvers, window and window. My balcony design is pretty standard. It has a rail at the top, and it has some round posts here, that connects to the rail up there. So that's actually like a custom design railing that I have. So this is a post, and this is actually a metal member that attaches to the railing here, right? So this is my design here, and that's how my layout is going to be. That's how my design is going to be. So I'm going to minimize that, and let's continue with our drawing. So we need to put our studs. So I'm going to put the corner studs up first, and to do that we're going to do the same thing. We're gonna go to architecture, we're going to go to model in place, and we're going to use structural framing, and we're going to call this main studs. We're going to use extrusion, and we're going to put the main studs up. So I'm going to go from here to here, and I want to make sure that this is 100 by 100. That's great. I'm going to choose OK. So if I look in 3D view, that's actually my stud here. Now my balcony is going to be on this side. So my stud is actually going to stop from about right here, right? And what you can do is on your ground floor, we can lay out some reference points so that we know where everything goes, right? So from here, we're going to copy this stud to the other side, and this stud actually needs to be sitting on the wall here. So we're going to use our ground floor view, and we're going to copy this from here to there. Let's choose OK for now. And if we look back on our view here, we need to set how tall our floor level is going to be. So mine is going to be 10 feet. So I'm going to copy a level up, and this level here, it's another empty level. I'm going to use my dimension lines and go from the ground floor to here. And I'm going to make this 10 feet, about 3,000 millimeters. So that is going to be pretty much the height. Well, actually, the height to the top plate is actually going to be seven feet. So I'm going to write 7 feet there, which is about 2,100. So let's make that 2,100 just to make life easy. So that's my level there. So now I can actually select these and pull them up to that level. Right? Let's look in our 3D view. So this is the back. And of course, our balcony is going to be up front. So I'm going to use a reference plane just to show where my balcony is going to be. So I want my balcony to be about 10 feet. Let's see if that will fit. So maybe 2,500. About that. So my balcony would be here. So that would mean that my studs, which I need to double click to go into edit mode, I need to copy these these studs here from here and place them up front here. Alright, so that's what we have. and then my balcony is going to be here. Now I'm going to choose OK there. Now let us work on our top plate. So our top plate is going to be another edit in place. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to go to model in place, and we're going to choose another structural framing, and we're going to call this top plate, and that's going to run along here, or a wall plate. Some people call it wall plate. So we're going to create another extrusion, and this extrusion is going to run from we're going to choose the level for that, and the level will be level 8, which we actually didn't name, so we need to go back and name that level. Alright, so we're going to create that, and we're going to create that there, and I'm actually doing this now in the 3D view, notice, so you can also do this in the 3D view. There we go. Choose OK. Oh, we have some overlaps, that's why, so we need to get rid of the overlaps. So we're going to actually undo that, and we're going to create one, and this is going to be 50 millimeters tall. Right, and we're going to copy this, here. So we actually need to build it first, and then we copy it. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees, and let's go to our top view for this one now. So we are gonna, so if you notice, when you go to the top view, you don't see that, and that's because we are actually above our cut plane. Alright, so we're gonna choose OK here, and we are gonna create another real level. That's another level like this, by going to architecture, level, and we're just going to create another level on top. Let's go out here, because this is going to be a real level, and we are going to call this level roof. Let's call this top view for now. Choose yes. And this level will allow us to be able to see down onto everything else. So we are going to select the ends of these levels actually, and just carry them in. So I'm clicking and holding and panning while clicking and holding. Carry these levels into there, and I'm going to carry these levels over like that, and I'm going to carry this level like that, and let us make this level align with that one. Okay, so now if we go back, and instead of going to our ground floor, we're going to go to top view, and now that we go to top view, we can actually see our wall plates. So we're going to double click that and just move those into place. There, and we're going to copy this and move that into place there, I believe, and let's look at that in 3D, and okay, we have basically outlined that, and we would indeed need another sole plate right there, so we're going to copy this, paste it here. Let's let's see if that is aligned. Let's align that right there. Alright, so let's look at that. Okay, pretty straightforward design. Now let us actually fix this up. So this would be here, and this would be a little shorter like that, and this would be a little shorter like that. There we go, because this is going to be our balcony, right? So let us work on the rest of this building, and then we